Imagine for a moment that you can feel everyone else's emotions around you as if they were your own. When someone is distressed, you feel their pain. When the environment is chaotic, your body reacts as though it's caught in a storm. But what happens when you can no longer distinguish what is yours from what belongs to others? This is the silent reality of being an empath in a world where emotions run wild. The ability to absorb and understand the energies around you may seem like a rare and powerful gift, but it can also be an invisible trap. As you open yourself to the feelings of others, it's like the doors of your soul are left slightly ajar, allowing external energies to invade your internal space. Without realizing it, what once seemed like a blessing can begin to drain your own energy, your very essence. In times of rapid and intense change, like the ones we live in today, this empathetic ability becomes an even greater challenge. Global tensions, personal crises, and even the small vibrations of daily life can build up inside you. It's not just about feeling compassion or concern. You start carrying burdens that are not yours. Fatigue sets in, emotional exhaustion takes over, and the feeling of being constantly overwhelmed seems endless. But why does this happen? And more importantly, how can we change this? The first step to understanding this process is to recognize that although your empathic capacity is a powerful skill, it needs to be protected. An empath without healthy boundaries becomes an emotional sponge, absorbing everything around them, the good, the bad, and the neutral. To prevent this from happening, it's essential to establish an energetic container. This container not only preserves your own energy, but also helps you differentiate what is yours from what belongs to others. The line between what we absorb and what we emit may seem thin, but it does exist, and learning how to navigate this separation is key to transforming your experience as an empath from a constant battle to a journey of self-awareness and personal control. Because in the end, being an empath is not just about what you feel, it's about what you choose to allow yourself to feel. Today, I invite you to embark on a journey of transformation, a process of rediscovering yourself and your energy. You will discover how to establish these boundaries, how to create this energetic container, and most importantly, how to live in a state of balance without giving up who you are. When we talk about empaths, we're not simply referring to sensitive people. Being an empath goes far beyond common emotional sensitivity. An empath is someone who has a finely tuned ability to feel and absorb other people's emotions, feelings, and even energy. For these individuals, the world is a constant flow of emotional vibrations, where the boundaries between what is personal and what is external become blurred. Empaths do not just perceive someone else's emotional state. In many cases, they absorb those feelings as if they were their own. It's like entering a room full of people and, without anyone saying a word, feeling a wave of mixed emotions, joy, sadness, anger, anxiety. All of these can be absorbed by an empath in seconds. This does not happen consciously. For many empaths, this absorption occurs so automatically and instinctively that it can be difficult to realize when they are feeling their own emotions or those of others. Among the traits that distinguish an empath, sharp intuition is one of the most striking. These individuals have an almost inexplicable ability to sense what's happening around them, even when there are no visible signs. If someone close to them is going through a difficult time, an empath often knows it without the person saying a single word. This intuition also manifests as an emotional radar, picking up on intentions behind actions, allowing empaths to perceive when someone is being dishonest or when there are hidden emotions. Another common trait is a deep sensitivity to the environment. For many empaths, crowded places like shopping malls or large events can feel overwhelming. The sensory overload does not come just from the noise and movement, but from the various energies circulating in the space. An empath may enter a stress-filled environment and leave completely drained, feeling as if they've carried that emotional burden with them. The biggest challenge for empaths is the difficulty in setting boundaries. By absorbing others' emotions, they often lose sight of where they end and others begin. This leads to a tendency to become emotional sponges, soaking up not only positive energy, but also the negative energy around them. It's as if they were empty vessels, constantly filled with the emotional content of their surroundings until they overflow. This constant absorption can have a profound impact on an empath's life. Many report feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or emotionally drained for no apparent reason. Small conflicts at work or in personal relationships that others might easily dismiss can create a mountain of stress for an empath, simply because these energies accumulate inside them. Understanding these characteristics is the first step to comprehending the complexity of being an empath. While sharp intuition and the ability to deeply connect with others are gifts, without the creation of healthy boundaries, these gifts can become burdens. Just as the world around us can be a source of emotional overload, it also offers the tools needed to establish these invisible barriers that allow the empath to continue feeling without being overwhelmed by the emotions of others. Now that we've understood the characteristics that make empaths so unique, we need to explore why this absorption happens so naturally. What is so deep in the absorption mechanism that makes it difficult for empaths to separate their emotions from those of others? The ability of empaths to absorb the energy around them is not just a personality trait, but a reflection of deep psychological and energetic mechanisms that have been developed over time. First of all, the absorption of energy by empaths can be seen as a survival mechanism. In many cases, this ability begins to manifest in childhood, when the family environment requires the child to become highly sensitive to the emotions and moods of the adults around them. Imagine a child growing up in a home where emotions are volatile, or where parents are often emotionally or physically distant. To adapt to this reality, the child learns to read the emotions of others in extreme detail, anticipating potential conflicts or trying to fill emotional gaps that were not properly addressed. These family dynamics create a scenario where emotional absorption becomes an indispensable tool for survival. By tuning into their caregiver's emotions, the child develops an almost instinctive ability to adjust their behavior to meet others' emotional expectations, avoiding conflict or attempting to maintain a sense of harmony in the environment. While this behavior may be effective in a dysfunctional household, it creates deep-rooted patterns that extend into adulthood, transforming into a constant energy absorption pattern. But this pattern comes at a cost. The extreme focus on reading the external environment in an attempt to control or appease situations leaves little room for the empath to recognize and protect their own feelings. Over time, this skill can turn into a burden. Beyond the psychological context, there's also an energetic explanation for this phenomenon. Empaths, by opening themselves up to the emotions and energies of others, create a sort of energetic channel. However, this channel operates passively. Instead of just sensing the energy around them, they begin to absorb it. This happens because an empath's emotional and energetic boundaries are often fragile. Without a defined barrier between self and other, energy flows freely, blending with the empath's own vibration. It's as if the walls that should separate personal energy from external energy are permeable, allowing others' emotions to pass through freely. This lack of a clear barrier creates what we call energetic fusion, where the empath cannot distinguish between what belongs to them and what belongs to others. This leads to a continuous cycle of emotional exhaustion, because the more the empath absorbs, the harder it becomes to maintain their own energetic balance. Others' energy begins to blend with theirs, to the point where the empath feels drained without even understanding the source of their fatigue. These fragile boundaries often stem from a lack of recognition of one's own emotional individuality. When life is lived for the other, whether it's a caregiver, a partner, or even a coworker, empaths tend to put their own needs aside. They prioritize the well-being of others at the expense of their own energy, perpetuating the absorption cycle. The key to breaking this cycle is strengthening these emotional and energetic boundaries. Strengthening boundaries is not just a matter of self-defense, It's a way to honor your own energy, recognizing that while it's natural, and in many cases necessary, to feel empathy, it does not mean you have to carry others' burdens. To strengthen these boundaries, it's essential to first recognize where they fail. Awareness is the first step. An empath who is aware of their tendency to absorb the energy around them can begin practicing intentional separation of their own energy from that of others. This practice not only helps protect yourself, but also reinforces the idea that although we can feel the world's pains and joys around us, we do not have to carry them. Healthy emotional and energetic boundaries are essentially the ability to define where you end and where the other begins. Healthy boundaries mean creating a safe and protected space where the empath can interact with the world around them without being overwhelmed by others' emotions. Establishing these boundaries starts with understanding that no is a powerful tool. Many empaths struggle to say no because they fear disappointing or hurting others. But the act of saying no is a way to protect your own energy. Each time you say yes to something that does not resonate with your true desire, you're giving away a part of yourself. That's why a fundamental practice is learning to say no without guilt. This does not mean rejecting people or being insensitive. It simply means honoring your own energy and recognizing that you cannot give what you do not have. Practicing self-affirmation is another essential technique for establishing healthy boundaries. Self-affirmation is the process of reaffirming your own value and needs, both internally and externally. This can be done through daily practices such as positive self-talk, setting clear intentions, and taking time for self-care. By consistently affirming your own energy and emotions, you create a strong foundation that makes it easier to recognize when external energies are starting to intrude. Grounding exercises are also incredibly effective for empaths to reinforce boundaries. Grounding connects you to the Earth's energy, helping you feel centered and balanced in your own body. This could involve meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature, or even visualizing roots growing from your feet into the ground, anchoring you in place. These practices help clear out the energy you've absorbed from others and create a protective barrier that prevents future absorption. Visualization is another powerful tool empaths can use to create boundaries. One common method is to visualize a protective shield of light surrounding your body. This shield acts as a filter, allowing you to remain open to the world around you, but blocking out any negative or overwhelming energies. You can also imagine this shield being reinforced with each breath, becoming stronger and more resilient. Over time, this simple visualization can be a quick and effective way to protect your energy, especially in environments where you feel vulnerable to energetic overload. Another key aspect of creating healthy boundaries is learning how to release energy that doesn't belong to you. Just as important as protecting yourself from absorbing emotions is the ability to let go of those that have already infiltrated your energy field. One way to do this is through a practice called energy clearing. This can be done through various methods, such as using crystals, smudging with sage, or taking a cleansing salt bath. These techniques help to purify your energy, removing any lingering emotions or vibrations that do not belong to you. Letting go of energy that isn't yours also requires emotional awareness. Throughout your day, take moments to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? If you find that your emotions seem disconnected from your actual circumstances, or if you're feeling overwhelmed for no clear reason, it's possible that you've absorbed someone else's energy. Acknowledging this is the first step to releasing it. Once you've identified that the emotion is not your own, you can engage in practices such as deep breathing, energy visualization, or even a simple mantra like, I release what does not belong to me. In addition to these practices, maintaining physical health is also vital for empaths. When your body is well nourished, rested, and cared for, your energy field becomes stronger, making it easier to fend off unwanted emotional absorption. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient sleep all contribute to this overall well-being, providing you with the strength and resilience needed to manage your empathic tendencies. For empaths, engaging in activities that bring joy and peace is crucial. These activities act as a reset button, allowing your energy to realign with who you truly are. Whether it's painting, writing, listening to music, gardening, or simply being in nature, these moments of pleasure and relaxation help to fill your energy reserves, making you less susceptible to emotional exhaustion. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself from negative energy, it's also about being mindful of the company you keep. The people you surround yourself with have a significant impact on your emotional and energetic well-being. For an empath, relationships with individuals who are constantly negative, draining, or manipulative can be particularly damaging. These relationships can leave you feeling depleted, anxious, or overwhelmed. It's important to evaluate your relationships and make conscious choices about who you allow into your inner circle. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life entirely, but it does mean setting clear emotional boundaries with those who have a tendency to drain your energy. This might involve limiting the amount of time you spend with certain individuals, learning how to say no to their requests, or even having honest conversations about how their behavior affects you. In some cases, you may find that certain relationships no longer serve your well-being, and that it's necessary to let go of them entirely. This can be difficult, especially for empaths who naturally want to help others, but sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is prioritize your own health and energy. It's also important to seek out relationships that are supportive, nurturing, and balanced. Surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people can replenish your energy and help you feel more grounded. These relationships provide a healthy give and take, where you feel equally supported as you support others. As an empath, it's essential to cultivate these types of connections, as they provide a safe space for you to be yourself without feeling overwhelmed by the needs or emotions of others. In your journey to create stronger boundaries, don't forget the importance of solitude. For empaths, alone time is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Solitude provides the space for you to disconnect from external energies and reconnect with your own. Whether it's taking a walk in nature, spending time in meditation, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea, these moments of solitude allow you to recharge and process the emotions you've absorbed throughout the day. During these times of solitude, you can also engage in self-reflection. Ask yourself what boundaries you need to strengthen, where you may be giving too much of your energy, and how you can better protect yourself moving forward. This introspection is a powerful tool for personal growth and can help you make adjustments to your boundaries as needed. Being an empath is both a gift and a responsibility. While it allows you to connect deeply with others and experience the world in a profound way, it also requires that you take extra care of yourself. Without proper boundaries, the very traits that make you an empath can lead to emotional exhaustion and overwhelm. But with awareness, intentionality, and the right practices, you can protect your energy while still embracing your empathetic nature. Remember, your ability to feel deeply is a gift, but it's one that must be managed with care. By establishing healthy emotional and energetic boundaries, you can navigate the world as an empath without losing yourself in the process. You can feel the emotions of others without absorbing them, offer compassion without depleting your energy, and live in alignment with your own needs and desires. As you continue on your journey as an empath, know that it's okay to prioritize yourself. It's okay to say no, to take time for yourself, and to create boundaries that protect your energy. By doing so, you honor not only yourself, but also the gift of empathy that you carry. When your energy is balanced and protected, you are better equipped to use your empathic abilities in a way that serves both you and those around you.